Alright, so the B18B is in, started, all the correct motor mounts are in there. See that one, that's the Integra motor mount. Then you have the AC bracket down here. Got all the correct motor mounts. These are just OEM motor mounts. And then the T bracket down here somewhere for the Acura Integra. So the engine's in, it started up and everything, it's all good. Now what I'm doing is I am working, and the reason I went with this swap is because it just looks like it belongs in this car. It looks really OEM looking, and it's a little bit more power than the D series. Plus it's going to be the daily driver, so it'll be good on gas too. Now what I'm working on today is doing my radiator support. This is my new one. This car was in a wreck, I guess, and the radiator support was bent on this lower corner, and actually this part here was like broken off. So here's my old one. And to take it off, I pretty much just use drill bits and a grinder with a cutoff wheel to start cutting it off, because it didn't really matter about chopping it up since it's going in the garbage. And this is the new one from eBay. Cost about 80 bucks shipped. It's the quality, it's not really OEM quality, even though they say it is. Just in the weight alone, you can tell it's a little bit lighter than that right there. Also, I noticed that with this one, it didn't come with these brackets, and these go like right there. So, so they go right there for extra support. So I just took them off of my old one, and I'm gonna weld them in to the new one. No big deal, but just look out for that. Yeah, but I mean, for 80 bucks shipped, I guess it's not that bad. Everything else lines up, like the bolt holes and everything. Everything seems to line up pretty good. So, and I also put the latch on and checked for the hood to make sure it closed, and it closes all right. Right now I just have it bolted up with these bolts right here, kind of just set in place, and it's lining up pretty good. So as far as that's concerned, it's working out pretty good. So I'm gonna take this off. I'm just mocking it up right now, make sure everything lines up. I'm actually gonna paint this white, so that like the back part and everything back here, it's all white to match the car. And then after that, I'll weld it in. So basically, it's just gonna be spot welds like along here, just like it was on the original. You can see where I hacked them all out. And then also there's some welds up here under the fender, and there, here too. And then some in here behind. There's another bracket in here. Same thing on the other side. There you can see the bracket in here a little better. And then basically that's it. And then you weld it up. And then the other piece that I am going to get, just because this is this goes across like that. This one was always also bent because of the accident, and as you can see, it was bent that way, and it actually cracked it from when it got bent and then trying to straighten it back out. So, damn it. Sorry about that. So I figured, you know, it's not as strong. So I'm just gonna go to the junkyard and grab one off of a car. What's great about these Civics is, you know, there's usually 5 or 6 at the junkyard at any given time. The parts are pretty cheap. So I'm just gonna grab a brand new one of those. I guess I could just use it, but whatever. It does have a crack in it. And yeah, so when I get my new one of those, this one just bolts on with those bolts right here and there too. So, but yep, the engine's in. The radiator support will be in by the end of the day. I got my little flux core weld pack right there. For a project like this, that's all you need, you know. And that's going in the garbage. But yep. And there it is. It's coming together. I also did some suspension work. I finally got my Ibach springs and shocks off of my other car, and I put them in there. I don't know if you can see that in there, but those are in there. So actually show you what was on the car. This is how I bought the car. It came with this crap, and you know, I don't even think these are for the actual car. Just, you know, cheap, half-assed. I mean, this thing's put on there with bolts. I don't think that's very safe at all. So those are off, and I finally got my Ibach on there. So it's coming together. Just can't wait to drive it. Also, gonna be taking the exhaust system that's on here because it sounds like crap. The catalytic converter, I doubt it even has one. It's probably hollowed out or something. So I got my new cap. Got my new cat, I'll be welding that in. And this cat is for a 94 Acura Integra because the engine is from a 94 Acura Integra. And since I'm in California, to get it bored, I need to have all emissions that go with the engine. All emissions components that go with the engine, I have to have them on this car. So I was gonna get a new cat anyway, so here it is, and then I'll get a new exhaust. And this is universal. It's not direct fit, so I'll have to weld some flanges and stuff on there, and then I'll bolt up the exhaust when I get it. So that's that. And where is it? That's just the stuff that comes with it. I don't think it says it on here. It should. Universal cat, that's the part number, I guess. Yay for California. And give you a shot. There's another thing that came with the car that I'm taking off. I don't know. The guy that owned this did a lot of crap I wouldn't have done. So it's all coming off and I'm redoing it. I did get this car fairly cheap though, so I don't mind. There's another, well, I guess you can't see it that well because of the lighting. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to see it in this light. I don't have really good lighting in my garage. Hold on. So there's those that I got. And those are pretty neat. If anybody wants to comment, who knows what those are, comment. And then I also got my center console down there. So, got that and those. And then I got my OEM radio. I'm really proud of that. My tape deck to go along with my secret compartment. Tape holders to go with the era of the car. Just because, you know, it just makes it look so much cleaner, I think. And plus, when I'm driving, I only really listen to the radio. I don't. I guess I could just connect my iPod through a FM transmitter, and that'll work. So it's coming together. Let me set up my rims. I need new tires all around because I got these used with basically bald tires. Going to get a new hood because the guy that owned this car, if you can see all those holes, he had a ridiculous hood scoop on this too. So the hood scoop is, I mean, I took the hood scoop off, but I'm gonna get a new hood also. Probably gonna get a carbon fiber hood, but for now this would do. So everything is really stock on the engine, exhaust manifold, intake manifold, everything is pretty stock right now. And I have a B16 head that I'm probably gonna put on this after I get it barred and everything, but probably not. I'll probably just save the VTEC head for my other engine that I have over here on my stand. I'm probably gonna build this one for a CRX or something, and I'll do a LS VTEC on the CRX. But just kind of anxious to get this on the road and get it smogged and everything. So that'd be the big thing. Going down to the state referee and getting it barred and then smogged. Then I'll get a nice little sticker to put somewhere on my car that says that this engine is completely legal in this car. This is where I got the engine from, out here. Let's see if you can see that. B&R Auto Wrecking. You know. The engine came complete with distributor, intake manifold, even the power steering pump, all the brackets, header, everything came with the engine. And then what I've done is obviously timing belt, water pump, a valve cover gasket, oil pan gasket. I replaced basically all the gaskets, thermostat. These are new wires, new spark plugs. There's a new rotor inside there, and I have the distributor cap up there somewhere. So it's got paper in here just because I'm doing grinding and I don't want any metal shavings going into the intake, even though the flap is down. Still, just a precaution. Yeah, so it's coming along. There's another shot. So I'm gonna take this off. Sorry, this is not a DIY video. It's just kind of showing you what I'm doing. I'm sure, you know, it's, like I said, it's pretty simple. It's all self-explanatory. You just drill out the spot welds, take the old one off. I didn't worry about hacking it all up, obviously. I test fitted the new one on there. Gonna paint it because the only place I'm gonna be welding is a couple spots welds here, up here, and same on the other side. So then I'll just come back and spray that a little bit. And that's basically it. I mean, it's not that difficult. And then these, obviously, they go like that. It's added support. And my new one didn't come with them, which was the biggest issue for me. But took my old ones off. They're gonna be on there, and you know, it's gonna be good. All right, I'll make another video when I'm done with this part of the project, and then after this we'll go into the exhaust and some suspension work. I gotta, you know, it's got 250,000 miles, this car, so that's why I went with the new springs, new shocks, and I'm going to do the trailing arm bushings, lower control arm bushings, all of that stuff. All of those bushings are going to come out. I'm going to put new ones in, and then I already have the trailing arm bushings for the rear suspension. I already actually put on new upper control arms on the front, both sides. So pretty, gonna do the lower ball joints, gonna do the outer end links, and then we'll see how well it rides. I also noticed that my bushings on the shifter, they're probably pretty worn out because there's a lot of wiggle and noise actually coming from when I shift, squeaking and such, so they're probably all dried out and need replacement too. So I'll get those from Energy Suspension, and those are pretty easy to just take off the shift linkage, and then it's like 2 bolts or something like that, and you just pop them in. Alright, well, gotta tint the windows also, just the back ones, because in California you can have the rear passenger side windows as dark as you want, but the front driver and front passenger, I believe, need to be 60% transparency or something like that. So I'm just gonna leave them untinted, the fronts. And then, oh yeah, I also got these. Let me grab my lamp again. KITSFM and HD1. Got those. Tweeters. I got those from Malaysia. I think I'm going to sand them down and maybe paint them because they're a bit scuffed up, but they fit pretty well. It has these mirrors on here right now. Oh, probably my camera just go. Has these mirrors on right now. They're okay, but I think I'm just gonna go with the OEM power folding mirrors. Seeing The wiring seems